because the generic TFS mount is stretched out so much on the 2018 and the later model C-130 bags, this side of the putter well is almost 3.25 inches to an inch wide. It really stretches this out, and the mount will slip and actually will pull out sometimes during the round. You can just reset it. I used it fine for 20 rounds the way it was, but I just got tired of resetting it, and I wanted a more fixed mount, and so that is why that I've come up with this this hinged mount. It is simple to assemble, just some basic parts from Home Depot. It sits on a hinge. You can remove it easily for when you want to just use it as a riding cart. But if you're walking most of the time, having the fixed or the hinged TFS mount is a nice addition. So what you will need is 4 number 8 screws. These are 3/4 inch, 1/2 inch, number 8 1/2 inch machine screws would be better. These will generally come with their own nuts, but if they don't, you'll need number 8 nuts with those. These wing nuts, or number 8 wing nuts, these are for the fast removal from your bag. These are really handy. These will come 2 in a package, should come 2 in a package. These are some number 8 washers. You'll need about 4 of those. These are number 8 finishing washers. These are countersunk, so the nut will sit down inside there, inside the putter well. This will make it so that the screw is recessed and won't rub your finger, won't scratch your finger, won't scratch your clubs and all that. It'll just make it nice. Also on the top of the mount, I've used these also. You'll need 4 of these if you want to put it in both places. At least 2 for inside the unit. They should come at least 4 in a package though, so you would have plenty there. So additional items you'll need is a 2.5 inch hinge, some longer zip ties, possibly 2 of them, maybe 1 of them it's long enough. Piece of Velcro. This is a large drill bit, 7/8 inch drill bit. This drills the hole for the bottom of the TFS. You will need a drill, and that is a 1/8 inch drill bit there on that to drill the holes. The last item would be the board, which is 3.5 inches by 1/4 inch of poplar. It's about 3 feet long. It costs about $3 at Home Depot. What to do here is to find the place where you're going to drill the holes on the C-130. The way I did it is just to place the hinge up there, fold it over. You're going to get a level, make sure it's about in the center, then drill the first hole, then drill the second hole. Just be careful as you drill those holes that you watch where your fingers are. So after you have drilled the holes, you're going to use one of your screws with a finishing nut. You're going to place these into the C-130. You're going to find where the hole is in here and push it through. Once you place both of your screws so they're coming out of the front of the C-130, you want to attach your wing nuts to them. Once those are attached, the screws won't fall in. This is also how I use it when I'm using it as a riding cart. I'll take the mount off, and then I'll just put the wing nuts back on there. As you can see from in here, the screws do not really protrude too much into the putter well, and they won't impact the clubs at all. You'll need to cut your board, figure out how long you want that to be. The bracket that I've previously made is 7.5 inches long. It could be probably a full inch shorter than that, 6.5 inches. 8 inches wouldn't be too long. Once you've cut your board, you'll place your hinge on the end of the board. This would be the factory cut end. And mark the 2 outer holes for where you're going to drill the 1/8 inch holes for the screws. This is the side view of the TFS. As you can see, it has this round connection. That is where the mount goes to the regular generic plastic mount. There's a ball swivel mount that goes in there. So you'll need to make a hole for this piece. See, I've made a hole here in this. That's 7/8 inches in diameter. So once you've drilled your holes, one thing, you will want to paint the board because you do not want bare wood out there if it gets wet. Then you're going to attach your screws to your hinge. I use finishing washers, as I said before. Then on the bottom of it, you're going to use 2 washers and nuts where you attach the hinge. You see the TFS will go on like this. I've attached the Velcro piece to the TFS and to the board. That way the TFS will not turn like this as it's in there. As you place the TFS in there, you want to drill a hole on each side for where your zip tie will go to tie this in. You'll zip tie it on there to hold it in, and then on the bottom you'll want something to be as a cushion. I use a drink koozie as a cushion on the bottom. So here it is assembled. Zip tie holding in the cushion on the back and the TFS. And the main thing is this will not allow any side-to-side motion of the TFS. So here it is mounted on the bag. With the wing nuts here, it just takes seconds to put it on or remove it. And again, there's no side-to-side motion here. Whatever you decide to do as far as mounting the TFS using the generic mount, or if you fashion some other mount, this mouth has to face forward. Does not have to be level. But what it has to do is that when you move side to side, that this tether can follow you. So it can't be hanging straight down. It can't be going up. This has to relatively be parallel to the ground. Usually this hangs a little bit lower, points a little bit down. And the other thing is that obviously with the ground, you're going up and down, the cart's going up and down, so the up and down isn't as important as just making sure that it's not trying to come out across this way, but it is going through the opening to find the direction that you're going.